Okay. Welcome to Music ID TV. I'm Tuco.
What's up, guys? I'm Dave.
And on today's episode, we are going to be talking about digital distribution, which is something that a lot of people know certain things about, but...
Well, they know it exists.
They know it exists. But I feel like a lot of people are still in the dark about it.
Well, it's true. And it's constantly changing.
And it is constantly changing. A lot of these companies are adding new features and things that we want to pay attention to. So we'll cover some of that as well. Overall, we're going to be covering the old distribution model, which is something we want to get into because ultimately you do think about, okay, where to put your music. You're probably going to think about Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, some of the more popular outlets where anybody goes to distribute or listen to music, rather.
Exactly.
Those are the things you're probably going to think of. But what we want to get into is the old distribution model so people can understand what the digital distribution model is kind of replacing to a certain extent.
Right, and comparison of advantages with both the old model and the new model, and how the new model has made things a lot more accessible, a lot more mobilized, and a lot cheaper.
Right. So we're going to be talking about the old distribution model. We're going to be talking about where to put your music now, some of those outlets aforementioned. We're also going to be talking about your digital distribution options, some of those services that'll help you get your stuff in these places. So for the first thing, we're going to talk about the old distribution model, the ancient times, how we used to go to record stores like Tower Records and Warehouse Music.
Virgin Records.
Virgin Records.
Yeah, so remember that, what was that, Times Square? The whole Virgin...
That was the golden days, the glory years. But it wasn't really easy to get your stuff into those stores as an independent act. So many hoops you had to jump through to actually try and get your stuff in there.
Absolutely.
Now, there were some independent music stores where it might be easier for you to build a relationship with the retailer.
Absolutely.
But even in that, some of the things that they even consider are marketing. They consider, do you have any radio play? Do you have any PR? All your marketing efforts are going to take in consideration because the idea behind it is I'm not going to put anything into my store that won't sell.
Right, exactly. They have a quota of how many units they have to sell per store, and basically if they don't reach that quota, they lose that money. So basically it just comes down to a business.
Exactly. Another thing is that limited shelf space. We're talking about the physical world.
Yeah, absolutely.
So everybody's vying for a place on record shelves. And it's a very competitive place, especially when you have record companies who already have these relationships and are going to more than likely get top billing when it comes to that. Some things that record labels will also get is all that cool stuff we used to see when we walked into the record stores where it was like a life-size cutout of Britney Spears. Those are called end cap displays, and you see your CD in the middle of those. Like, those are really, really expensive to have as a display in the record stores. And then you have staff who go out to record stores and make sure that the things are displayed in the proper places.
Right way, right. The label and the face and everything is pointing in the right direction so that consumers can just walk in and immediately go, oh, there it is.
Exactly.
Easy access.
And you have to pay that staff too. This is just the business aspect of it. So these are things that you kind of lose by being independent, you know, not having that machine behind you.
True.
But at the same time, all these, like, the works come with the potentially small royalty rate that could be connected to your record contract. So that's something to consider as well. We've gone from Tower Records, we've gone from Virgin Records, we've gone from Warehouse Music, we've gone from all these places to now we have these streaming services. We have a couple of digital record stores.
Right, as we're thinking of outlets and stores, like actual physical stores, now we have these digital stores. I'd say the point of entry is a lot easier.
So the streaming services that we have
Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, and SoundCloud.
We also have digital record stores, one of those being Bandcamp, which I'm a big proponent of. Thus far, everything I found out about Bandcamp I absolutely adore. Outside of the fact that I feel like a lot of music consumers don't know about Bandcamp.
Right, but a lot of artists do.
A lot of artists do.
Yeah.
So if you're a music enthusiast who probably follows a band hardcore, you might know. And if you don't know about Bandcamp, look up Bandcamp because Bandcamp has some awesome features that
It's a great way to discover new music as well. The last one, though, is iTunes.
Yes.
I mean, obviously everyone's aware of iTunes and everyone has used iTunes. There's a recent story that just came out that iTunes is going to be slowly dissolved.
Within 2 years, potentially iTunes digital download store is going to be gone.
Which means that the only way you'll be able to access purchase music through Apple is through Apple Music, which means you won't be able to own the music, basically just lease it.
And that's something to really take note of because iTunes is still considered one of the biggest music stores in the world. I think they might come second to Amazon now.
Yeah.
That's a big shift for the industry. That
It's
just
a
lets
huge
you know
one,
it is about leasing music.
It is. It's a huge shift, and obviously other pieces of digital content like films and games and everything else, I mean, you're not going to be able to buy them. You'll only be able to
Subscribe to them.
Yeah, subscribe to them.
So, how do you get your stuff into these places? What we're all here for is basically to talk about these digital distribution services to get your music in iTunes and Apple Music and Spotify and Deezer, RDO, and all these places that you would love to have your music so you can be stomping with the big dogs.
Exactly. Let's not forget Tidal too.
Tidal as well.
Exclusive release kind of thing, you know, definitely.
Tunecore. Actually, I've known a few people who have really good experiences with Tunecore.
Yeah, absolutely.
They do not take a commission, which is pretty awesome. And they really have great reports.
They do.
So you know how many streams you've had on Spotify, you know how many records you sold or downloads you've had on records you sold. Like how many records you sold is gonna be like ancient. It's not gonna make any sense in a few years. We're saying it here and everybody knows it anyway. But it tell you how many digital downloads you've had on Amazon and iTunes and all these things. So Tunecore has some pretty awesome pros. But some of the negative things about Tunecore is that they just got bought by a parent company called Believe.
Yes.
The parent company Believe, they had UK artists to take down their stuff and then re-release their stuff on TuneCore. So with any new buyout, there's always going to be a couple of changes in the company. That's just something to take note of.
Absolutely. CD Baby, I'm sure everyone knows about CD Baby. Their digital distribution model is actually one of the first ones I ever used. Again, they offer not just digital distribution, they offer physical CDs and the resurgence of vinyl distribution, which I kind of really want my next release to be able
Yeah, I think vinyl's making a major comeback because I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna go vinyl.
I just like a giant image, you know, not of my head, but just like, well, maybe in my head. Anyway,
With DistroKid, what's so cool about DistroKid, if you chalk out a whole bunch of material, you can sign up $20 a year, even if you don't get the clear, transparent reports like TuneCore.
Right.
You might not need all that. You might just say, I want to release something, but I want to tell people, go to Spotify. I want to tell people, go to Deezer. I want to tell people, go to Apple Music and check out my new single. So yeah, DistroKid, I find that to be amazing. I think Dave finds that to be
I definitely find it to be incredible.
Yeah, it's kind of changing things. We'll probably put all the rates for everything, like what percentages they take, what the fee is to actually sign up for this stuff. We're gonna have all that stuff as a bar.
Yeah, we'll put it
under as we're talking, and we'll put links for everything. We'll put links for everything that we do. So for the final words, one thing that we kind of forementioned, I use forementioned, that's like the key word of the episode, I guess, apparently for me.
Apparently this episode is brought to you by the word forementioned.
Remember that the old distribution model caused you to have some type of marketing plan to even get into record stores.
Exactly.
But you don't need a marketing plan to get into these record stores. You don't need a marketing plan to sign up for DistroKid. You don't need a marketing plan to sign up for TuneCore or CD Baby.
Right.
You can just sign up. Just because you're next to the top name in the industry does not mean that somebody's going to listen to you. Actually, we just saw a report today where 4 million songs on Spotify have never been played. Ever been played.
Yep.
So understand that. 4 million songs on Spotify have never been played. And Spotify has a radio to where it picks up on songs and play them in playlists and things. There's so many ways to discover music through Spotify. And there's still 4 million of those songs that have never been played. So that just tells you how dire it is to have some type of marketing plan. Digital distribution or distribution in general should be accompanied by some sort of marketing idea. It's just gonna be a lot more conducive for your efforts, for your time, for the effort you put into your music. Put together some type of plan. Please don't just throw it up on some store like, oh, I can sign up for TuneCore and I'll just throw it up now and it looks cool because it's like Apple Music.
Right.
No. Make sure there's some type of plan because you still want to get some type of revenue back, even if the royalties aren't paid out in a major way. Maximize your efforts.
Entirely. I mean, just because the store has physically changed, just because consumers aren't walking into a Tower Records or a Sam Goody or, you know, whatever. I'm going to say Media Play just to throw back to an East Coast thing. But anyway, just because those sort of things have changed and molded or, you know, gone online or whatever the case, you should still treat your releases like they are going into those stores, because honestly, more people are seeing your product than ever before. I mean, more people are going online and being able to like access your stuff. Just because they're not physically driving there to do so, you should still take it as seriously, or maybe even more seriously, because now those sort of outlets, those sort of digital distribution stores are easily accessed and easily optimized by the bigger artists. So you need to really be on your game when it comes to marketing yourself, not just the quintessential words of growing your fan base, but I mean, you really need to take it seriously in a way that, okay, my stuff's gonna be on CD Baby, my stuff's gonna be on Tunecore. I need to figure out a way that I can stand out from everyone else. You have to create your own end caps, you know? You create your own works, you create your own PR, because that's how people are gonna hear it. That's very important. I would say that's the most important thing, you know?
Yeah. So let us know what you think is the best way to distribute your music. Would you go through these distribution services, or do you prefer having no middleman whatsoever? You want to do something like Bandcamp, or you want to do something like SoundCloud to some instances.
Right.
Let us know what you think. Where are you putting your music? Where are you getting the best results for your music? Let's share those things so we can kind of share, I guess, our experiences and kind of grow from each other's experiences. We really want to keep the maybe age-old musician concept of keeping the secrets to yourself. Because everybody wants to win.
It's true.
Ooh, I have this idea, but I'm not going to share
I don't
it
want to tell
with
you about
anybody
it.
because
Yeah.
I'm doing so well over here.
Right.
You know, you don't want to swell up the market, which we get.
Yeah, totally understand that.
But the market might not be here if we don't do something about it. So let's just try and share and grow and do something about this music industry that's so volatile and changing. So if you liked anything you saw in today's episode, please like, subscribe, share with a friend. Have any questions for us, you can reach us on Twitter, and we'll do a
tweet, we'll do a shout out.
video response.
Video responses, definitely video responses, so you get to see our faces and our expressions as we respond to all of your questions.
There you have it.
Definitely.
Another installment of Music ID TV. I'm Tuco.
I'm Dave.
Sayonara.
Later, guys.